up, cause it's Briar626 here, and today we're gonna be going over a really cool deck, I have to say, that has been shown up at MomoCon 2019. Now this deck was used by someone on Twitter. That's his name. His name is someone, or he goes by SkillScarlet or Scarlet Skill. However you want to push it that way. But he built this deck based around Titan Nillious, which is going to be the core Titan Nillious, not the Ultra one, but the core one. The one that has the misprint name that says Titan Fangzor Ultra at the bottom, or Titan Fangzor, whatever it is. He built this deck, and this deck was really good. I don't have the win or loss ratios on this deck. I wish I did, but when RXXC was, he went up against this deck, and I think Arliss Agent went against this deck, and they both said this deck is a powerhouse. It was a very strong deck, and it sounds like it would be, because what they're using are the Bakugan that they're using, we'll tell you in a second. But the whole concept is basically focusing on magic shields and fire fists and getting boost off of those, is the whole point of the general deck. And it just gives you high B power and high damage going in, which is great. But now in the deck is very interesting. But first let's go over like the Bakugan he used. So the first one, of course, is the Haos Nillious, the core version, not the Ultra version. Now the core version has the blue magic shield and the fire fist cores that you can use with it, 300 B power and 5 damage. That's not bad, it's not terrible. The low B power, but the damage is pretty good if you can get it turn 1 is great, which is really good. Then the next Bakugan he had was... Alright, so this is Briar from the future looking at this video here, and before we get into the next Bakugan, I wanted to tell you a little bit about something cool that we found out about Nillious Cornelius. When you roll him forwards, where the arrow is facing your opponent like you normally would, he only picks up 1 core. Now, what RXXC figured out when we were talking, that when he got back from MomoCon, he was playing around with Nillious, core version, not Ultra, but core, is if you roll him backwards where the arrow is facing you, he has a higher chance of getting 2 cores. Yeah, you heard that right, 2 cores. Nillious core is a possible candidate to get 2 cores. That could help you get the magic shield and the red fist on him a lot quicker and a lot easier. But he said it was like an 80% chance to get 2 cores, so which is amazing. I mean, 80% chance, why not take that? So I thought that would be something cool to let you guys know on before we get into everything else, so you guys can get this in your head saying, hey, you can roll them backwards, and boom, there you go. So let's go ahead and get the rest and see what the other Bakugan is. The Dragonoid Ultra. Now the Dragonoid Ultra, now this is a fun Bakugan. Of course it has the blue shield, red fist, 500 B power and 5 damage. So that's actually a pretty good start off to have. In that, now of course the Dragonoid Ultra, there is 2 different Dragonoid Ultras. You got the normal one that I have here, and then there's the Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. That's the one that has like these wings that are inwards, or these orange wings that fold out as well. So you have like 2 sets of wings on each side. Now that one is really neat. You can actually use the Hyper Dragonoid figure instead of this figure. And from what I was talking to everybody who has the Hyper Dragonoid figure, is that it's a whole lot better than this Dragonoid. Now the first Dragonoid that we had, of course, does not grab a lot of cores. So it couldn't grab the cores, and it would just throw him right off, and he would just not get a core boost. Which stinks, because your Bakugan need cores to get powered up. But the Hyper one grabs cores a whole lot better. It's absolutely fantastic how better it grabs cores. I think our XXC, he was telling me last night, he was doing it and it grabs 17 cores out of all, and the normal one grabbed 10. And they did the exact same amount of rolls and everything. Same speed, all that type stuff, and the hyper one worked so much better. So you can use that instead of this guy, but for right now I'll be using him if I wanted to use this in the deck. I can't remember which one did he use. He used the hyper one instead of this one, so of course I would use the hyper one instead of this, because this one's not going to keep you the cores like you need. And then he ran this new Bakugan that's coming out in Wave 5. Now this Bakugan is really cool. It's got some really good hype behind it, and that is Nobilious Ultra. It has a blue shield and a red fist for 500 B power and 2 damage as its stats, and then if you land on a magic shield or a red fist, you get plus 200 B power. That's pretty good. I mean, already landing on 500 and you're landing on a magic shield that has 650. That's going to put you already at 1150. And then you get the 200 bonus on top of that. You'll be at 1350 turn 1 if you land on a blue shield. Which they ain't going to get over that turn 1. Of course, you're only doing 2 damage, so which isn't the greatest. But if you land on a red fist, that might work out better because you're going to be using the 253, which could get at 5. So you're basically becoming 950, 955. So which isn't bad for turn 1 going into that. Now this Bakugan of course is very, very new. There's not a whole lot. There's a couple pictures of him. I mean, people from MomoCon have him, who went there and bought him. They do have some. I know our XXC has one. I know the detective has one. I don't know if anybody else has one that I know of. Fang Shaman may have one. But other than that, that is a really cool Bakugan. I can't wait to get my hands on one because one, he makes this deck very, very good. It's great what it can do. Now let's go ahead and go into the cores you're using. Of course, I kind of already briefed over a little bit. The magic shields, you're using 3 650 cores. The plus 650 B power, which is basically default if you're running blue shield. And then the red fist is 253, and you're running 3 of those. Those are like their big ones that you want to run and grab anyway. Now let's go ahead and go into the Evos, kind of just to show you what the Evos do. Of course, Nobilious doesn't have an Evo yet, so he can't really say anything there. But Dragonoid Ultra does. Of course, he has the Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. For 2 energies, he gets 800 B power and 8 damage. So for 2 energies, turn 2, you're going to 800. Then you're landing on a 650 core. You're going to get a big bonus off of that. You're going to be going at, what is that going to be, 1450? 1450 turn 2. And then you're doing 8 damage on top of that. That's great to get that much B power on that. And then you have of course, the main Evo of this deck is Titan Nillious. For 4 energies, 800 B power, 8 damage. So same thing as Dragonoid, but for 4 energies. Now if you land on a magic shield, it says plus 200 B power, and you may attach an additional Bakugan from the field to Titan Haos Nillious. Now it says fangs are on the card because that was a misprint that went on, but it's supposed to be Titan Haos Nillious, which is basically just to add another card to himself. Then you have, if it lands on a red fist, you get plus 4 damage. So basically you land on a blue shield to get you the red fist, to then get the red fist to boost up already get your bonus off the core, and then you get the bonus off of the effect. So you're going to be at some crazy B power. So you're already at 1,000, 800 plus a 2 if you land on the core, so 1,000 plus the core, which is going to be 1,650. And you're already going to be at 8 damage. Then if you do that, you're going to land on a red fist, which is going to get you 1900 and 15 damage. 1915 damage. And that's just landing on 1 shield, and you can do that constantly if you land on a magic shield, which is great. And then even if you don't, you have cards in the deck that let you get those cores to your hand instead. And I wonder, and I don't know how this works, I don't know what the ruling is on this, but if you land on a red fist, land on a, then use Consort to grab a magic shield, would that let you grab another Fire Fist? Because the effect would go off and then you get another Fire Fist. If that's correct, then that would be great. Let me know down in the comments below if you did that, SkillScarlet or Scarlet Skill. Let me know, because if so, then that's pretty overpowered if you can do that. You can Consort into that, which he does run 3 Consort, so he has the ability to do that. But that's, oh my word, that's just crazy. If you can do that, then you basically have 3 cores on one Bakugan. 3 cores. That would be ridiculous if you can do that. 3 cores, so you're getting 6 damage off of off the cores. Then you're getting a 4 off the effect. So that's 10. You're doing 18 damage. 18 damage, and then you have like a ridiculous amount of B power. That's over 2,000 B power, which is great if that actually works. Now, of course, you have your generic cards that you're using in the deck, because he is Pyrus, so he's using Superfuel, he's using Air Zero, Dan Kouzo, Inferno Wings, are like some basic ones that he is using. And then, of course, he is running some Haos cards, which there's some interesting choices. Of course, he's running Consort, Energy Draw, then he is running Dream Illusion, and then there's another card as well that helps you get rerolls in the deck, so you can do some rerolling, so you can get those cores a little bit different cores if you need to. And then there is one card that's very, very interesting, and I like this card a lot. I really wanted to put it in a deck just because of how cool it is, and that is Emily. Now, it's a hero card. If you don't know what it is, it's a 6 energy hero card, and when you open a Bakugan, make a Pyrus attack for 2. So if you can do that, Quickfire, so you roll, open up, deal 2 damage, Quickfire to deal 1, close up your Bakugan, re-roll to open another 2, so you're dealing 5 damage that turn. And that's not even going, that's not even like dealing anything from the actual attack, so you're already doing 5 damage. Of course, it is a 6 energy cost card. I will say there's a lot of things in this deck that a lot of it is 3 or more. And there's a couple 2 costs and a couple 1s, but most of it is 3 and above, which is very interesting. Of course, he only runs 2 Air Zero, so, and 3 Dan, and 3 Superfuel. So I don't know how all that works out, but it seemed like it dominated really, really good. It won constant games from what I've heard, and of course he won his match against the in the cage match, which he did fight, and I mean, of course I said he won. Good job for you. You did great. I like this deck. It seems like a very powerful deck, and especially with the Haos, with the ability of getting more B power, you're not going to go over B power. I mean, Pyrus has damage, or basically play things for free, and the Haos has everything that gets you B power, which is going to be ridiculous. So it's great. And of course the flip cards, he only runs 5 flip cards to stop everything. That is going to be 3 stand together, of course, since you guys are going to be getting the most cores with Consort, and even just Nillious being able to have the ability of a Consort on you is going to make that great as well. Very viable. And then you have block outsiders. He only runs 2 block outsiders, and 3 stand together. So he's not too much of stopping. I want to say he might be stopping the early game is the only thing I can think of. But if you're not winning the early game, then you're not really setting up a whole lot. I don't know. This deck though, I want to build this deck. This deck seems like it's a very, very fun deck to play, and a very, very competitive deck to play. Like I said, I want to build it. I want to try it out, test it out, see how it works. But from what it looks like and from what I've heard, this is a great deck and a deck to look out for in the future. So pick up these cards. I'll be throwing the deck list on the screen here so that you guys can see it. And I'll also be putting down all the cards in the description below, so you guys can know the deck as well. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to click that like button down below. And if you're new, go and click that subscribe button and become a cousin in our family. And make sure you click that bell icon so you guys get notified of videos just like this one here, because we'll be going over some more deck profiles from MomoCon 2019 to see kind of what the meta is that was there, and go over it there. Now, I will be at the Bakugan Demo Day at one of the GameStops where I live. If you live in Florida, around the Kissimmee area, I will be there. All the details will be in the description below of which one I'm going to be at. If you want to come hang out, go play. There's some really cool stuff. I know Bakugan just released some images for the new promotional cards that they have in there. And of course, I saw them right before they actually listed them, so it was kind of neat. They look really cool. I'm going to be going there. I'm trying to get some more I'm hoping to get 3 of each, because that'd be great. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing there. And also be doing some giveaways of my personal custom Bakugan hero card. If you want to win those, we're going to be doing a giveaway here shortly, so you guys can see those as well. Now remember, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten, and I will see you next time. Bye!